Star Trek when they get shot.
Yeah, but I fucking figured
Things
it out.
flying up out of nowhere.
You know, out of respect for everybody else, I'm not doing that. We're still not.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
She doesn't know.
Say, oh, you think you about that? You think it's a game?
I see it.
Yeah, but we're not live, dude.
Yeah, we
Yes,
are.
we are.
Yeah, we are.
What?
Yeah.
Remember when I said I was just gonna like Russian roulette randomly select somebody for the intro
Yep.
thing, and then I did me. That was the one. That was the warning shot. I got you, Brenna. I got you.
Sorry, everybody. You have to listen to this.
Sorry, and that I have made mistakes.
Yes.
Uh,
Burn her. Put the spotlight on her. Make it brighter.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Bin Podcast. It is your favorite day of the week. It is Bin's Day. Hi. And so,
Wait a minute.
Didn't we see you last night? This can't be Ben's Day.
so last night, I invited myself on to Speaking from the Center because we were doing the live Republican first debate, which was probably one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life, and I've seen plenty of Republican debates. Especially
Excuse me,
most
ma'am.
recent-
This is John from Legal. Can you please use air quotes when you refer to the debate? Just for legal reasons. Thank you very much. And then he
Debate.
shuffles back off to his office that we keep under our desk.
Debate. Yeah, so I watched that with the group. That was questionable at best. I don't know if anybody else out there caught the debate, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry we all had to witness that.
Oh, it's coming, Shartan. Don't you worry. I got you, big guy. As soon as our intro's done, I'm coming straight for your neck. I heard that.
We're all gonna die after seeing that. It's almost like it was like The Ring, right? So after a certain amount of time, somebody's gonna we're all gonna die.
You know what's coming.
Uh-oh.
Shame! Shame!
He opened the Twitch and forgot to
Shame.
mute his phone.
Yeah, that happened.
You know, I'm starting to recognize why people say I am terrible. I have no plans on changing, but I do recognize the validity of your point.
So, I want to start off today on sort of a light note, because we've talked a lot this week, a lot more than we used to, and topics of conversation have also been around social media. And I want to is everybody on TikTok?
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I'd be over there ticking all the talks.
Yeah.
I got like 7 TikToks. I'm pretty big.
Wait,
I got
are
like
you
3
on TikTok?
followers.
No, yeah, I need to find my other phone. It's in here
Right,
somewhere.
But all right, so Wayne's out, but the rest of you, have you seen that video that give me one margarita?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
you've seen that, right?
No.
Yes.
And I'm like, every time I see it, like, girl, you're fucking 5'2" and you weigh less than my right thigh. Like, I've done turds that weigh more than you, and you think that you could drink 4
Damn.
margaritas and do anything but sound like a goddamn moose in heat in the bathroom
It's a
trying
good day.
to empty your stomach down to the great porcelain god? Like, it's the worst fucking thing ever. Like, they're fucking tiny, all of them.
Yeah.
Like, they're teeny.
Zartan is painting pictures with words right now.
Teeny, 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 teeny.
No,
Hey,
it's like you
hey,
can't.
somebody
you
clip
can't
that.
have
Somebody
4
clip that.
margaritas
I need
without
that on the
having
soundboard.
an absolute
We need
fucking
that.
alcohol-induced aneurysm.
Those are fun too.
They are,
They just hit you when you're least expect it.
but the whole thing about that, like, I'm it really, it's just give me one minute. Yeah. After that fourth one, like you won't be doing shit. Like you'll be passed out in the bathroom. That's it.
Are you stalling so I can open this TikTok? Because you're not really giving me a lot of direction here. What do you want from me? You want me to play that?
Oh, no, that's a different. Yeah. So, but talking about TikToks, I sent Wayne, Mikey one, and it's absolutely fantastic. And for you who don't watch football, just look at it. Just enjoy. I'm giving this.
Uh-oh. What's going on here? There we go. Oh, wait. Hold on.
Not on the screen.
You have to go back to the beginning.
Do we really?
Wait. Yeah, wait for Wayne, because he definitely knows what this is.
Man, what are you fluffing pillows over here? Come on.
I don't know.
It looks fine. It looks fine. The pillows are fine. They look great.
Right. So Wayne, you definitely know what this is.
Yeah, I've seen this.
Yeah. Right. Go. His slow motion is beyond. It's so good.
Yeah, I'm high. That really fucked with me. Not gonna lie. Didn't
To be
care
fair,
for that. I was like, my
to be
reality.
fair, after every celebration, every goal, they do replay their celebrations in slow-mo. So he's got plenty of material to work with.
Yeah, they do a lot of
Yeah,
that.
but it's just his slow mo is so good. Like that's how it looks when they replay that slow mo. It's exactly how it looks. And he's got like the faces down and everything, like how he starts like erupting into this big smile. It's just I fucking love it. I love when people do something and it's so well thought out.
Oh, you Europeans and your football.
Thank you for addressing it by its true name.
I don't even watch
Wayne,
sports ball, but
I was
can
talking
recognize-
about the Europeans, Wayne.
Oh, here we go.
You weren't a part of that conversation.
We were
Yeah,
not
you wait.
referencing you. Well,
We're
we
com-
left Europe a long time ago, sir.
Is there any-
We're coming back like syphilis.
All right. Well, when we're on that topic, I think that we can talk a bit about
Fire
Brexit.
tornadoes. Oh.
I think we can talk a bit about
Wow,
Brexit.
Mikey, somebody.
Speaking of fire
really-
tornadoes in your crotch.
And there was actually some very good news in Sweden today. The number of Brits in Sweden since Brexit has declined noticeably. Which
You're
is
welcome.
very good news. The number of British
Oh, they
citizens registered as
pump-faked
living in
me.
Sweden has fallen from a peak at 19,965 to 14,158. So 5,000 people went back to Britain. Thank you.
Go back to your country.
Go back to your
I
shit.
didn't, I
Go
didn't, I
back to
didn't
your-
like, hang on, Brenner. I didn't like the emphasis on the first syllable of that word you just said there. There was some very heavy accenting on that first syllable.
Boy, get back to your country now. You get on out of here. You get on out of here.
Back to your
No,
own country.
the tree bit was very faint, but the first part, there was a lot of emphasis on that.
Now get.
Get back. They take our jobs.
Maybe it just got cold. Did you have a really bad winter? Maybe that scared him away.
So it's been declining
was-
since 2018. So over the last, like, it's been steadily declining with about 1,000 people a year.
So
It's
2 years
expensive.
after Brexit.
But it's expensive to live in Sweden.
Fucking right it is.
Maybe they just couldn't afford it. Had to go back to where it's fucking where they're used to things costing regular
Yeah.
regular
How mu-
people prices.
how
The
much is a-
conversion was too much for them.
How much is a pint over there, Zlatan? On average?
7,000 million kroner.
It's
It's like
Which is-
7,000 kroner though, right?
No. It's a pint at a pub, about £8.
£8. That's London prices, man. That's
What's-
posh London prices.
What's 8 quid? How many kroner is it? Kroner to-
85 kroner, give or take.
Okay. Because that's easy. The kroner to dollar is easier than the pound to dollar.
Yeah.
I think,
It's like
I think
90
it works out to that's about $10.
It's about 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, about $10. But that's like if you get like a pint of Guinness or something like that. If you get like some local beers, it's probably around between 5 or 6 quid.
Yeah, if you get a pint of Swedish mead.
If I go,
Mead
if-
is quite good. It's a bit too sweet for me, but
Fuck you,
dude,
Wade.
I fucks with mead. Mead is some good shit. Like I had a fucking tankard of that shit on my buddy's fucking bachelor party. We went to a gaming,
the
like a
gods.
gaming bar. Like there was like it was like look like you go in and there's like the pillars and you see like the Gryffindor and Slytherin banners are flying and there's fucking
Nothing but virgins.
yeah, maybe at the beginning of the night. But it was a bachelor party. I'll never tell.
like
But then there's like walls of fucking like RPG games. Every fucking table, like booth, had a monitor on it with like a aux cable and the fucking like AV connections and like a HDMI cord. So you could bring your friends in, fucking play Super Smash Brothers, get some burgers and a beer, and then just fucking go home. I was like, you can play video games outside? This
In
is
daylight?
incredible.
What is this?
We can go outside to other places and play our video games.
And they have food
yes,
and drinks
they have mead.
and people.
It was a magical
Bro.
place. I don't know if they survived COVID.
I'm guessing that after like 4 or 5 pints of mead, Mikey would going up to everybody and go like, "Are you an NPC? Are you an NPC?"
I just walk up to him.
Like, wait a second.
I got a controller in my hand. I just walk
Yeah.
up to him and I'm like, hold an X. Hmm,
Eh,
this one doesn't work
do
either.
something.
And I just walk away. Just brush past you. None of these are working.
I think
But
my
on the
battery's
note,
dead.
Yeah.
Yes, it has been declining, but we also need to note that nearly 4,500 British people got Swedish citizenship in 2019 alone, and
Oh, so they don't show up anymore.
Exodus.
they don't show up as British citizens living in Sweden because of Brexit. They started applying for Swedish citizenships.
That's some smart motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah.
Now they're under the radar. Now they can infiltrate you from the ground level.
So yeah,
Never know.
I think you'll find this is kind of a similar sort of ratio if you look at British citizens applying for Irish passports as well. We love our freedom of movement.
yeah.
Mhm.
So, but
Whose
So-
fault is that, Wayne?
yeah. So a more accurate metric would be actually to see how many British-born people are living in Sweden, and as of 2022, it had increased by 40% over the last 10 years. 40%.
Cheers, Nigel Farage.
I mean,
Prick.
40%. What's the total population of Sweden?
War.
That's what I'm saying. So 16 people came. You know what I mean? Like You
No,
guys
okay,
don't have
so-
a ton of
How do you
population
think they have to-
anyway.
they have to keep
I'm
their
just
labor
talking about the
force-
British born,
labor
not
force up.
40% of the citizens of Sweden are not British born. So that's not what I'm saying. It's
That's
about
not what-
10 million people in Sweden, but in 2013,
so-
in 2013 it was about 23,000 British born people living in Sweden, and as of 2022 it was 33,000.
Yeah. See, like that's what I mean. Like 33,000 people. If that 33,000 people came to the United States or somewhere else, you know what I mean? They would just be swallowed up by the masses.
Mhm.
It would be a drop in the ocean. You'd hardly notice. But because you guys have such a smaller population, like you're like 11 million is like Chicagoland. Like from me, like if you put a circle from me to Chicago, like that's 11 million people.
Los Angeles County is about 10 million.
Yeah,
That's-
London itself, Greater
Yeah.
London is 10
Yeah.
million.
Yeah.
Right. So that's like the entire. So if another 30 million people went into London, yeah, they would notice. Versus if they just came into England.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I think that what we see is one of the after effects of Brexit. So
Yeah.
when they were part of the EU, they could come here, live here, work here, but still retain their British citizenships, right?
Yeah.
But because of Brexit,
You're making Wayne weep.
it's more beneficial for them to apply for Swedish citizenships after, a year or two.
Now, is it easier that way? Like, is applying for a Swedish citizenship easy?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
it
Good
was-
to know.
Yeah.
it's
So that was.
They have room,
I
people.
need to modify my answer a bit. So it's easy.
Nope, we're
for-
coming.
Yeah,
It's
we're
easy
already
for
there.
somebody. It's easy for somebody from UK. It would also be quite easy for Americans, to apply for it. If you come here as a refugee, of course, poor people are always in a disadvantage. So it's the poorer you are, the more of a refugee you are, the harder it fucking gets. But it's not a hard process. You
I'm a
don't
political-
have to do.
I think we should we're all political refugees because we're.
I was gonna say, if you saw that debate last night, we all have to leave.
I think that if
We're all-
Ron
Asylum.
DeSantis wins the 2024 election, every American would be granted asylum.
That's
in
what I'm
Europe.
saying. I think
Yeah.
that would
As
be.
a
I think that's fair.
collective.
I think
But the
that's
thing is,
fair.
I think you'll find that the majority of people that are looking for those particular citizenships and change of locations or applying for passports and whatnot tend to be the more sort of cosmopolitan professionals that are working in the big cities. Because a friend of mine, Ryan, he married a Danish girl, and he's pretty much doing the same thing because he wants to retain that freedom of movement, to be able to go and see the in-laws and whatnot. And he works in a Danish bank, and I think that's what you'll find a lot of these people are doing, especially with, again, Irish, French, Germany, all those kind of countries where there's a big British contingent in the sort of financial industry.
I can't speak for Denmark because I don't really know what the rules are, but I'm guessing.
I know the rules.
and
What would you like to know?
I'm guessing that they're very similar to Sweden. If he's married to a Danish girl, there are, family rules that he wouldn't have to apply for citizenship. Like his kids would automatically be eligible for dual citizenships because they have parents who are citizens in different countries and stuff like that. I don't. If the rules in Denmark are the same as they are here, there would really be no reason for them, except for the fact that there are, when you have kids, and there are not legacy. I'm lost for words. When you die and you leave somebody something, it's called
Inheritance.
Inheritance.
inheritance. There are inheritance issues if you are not citizens in the same country, because there are different laws for UK citizens and Swedish citizens. So that might be a reason for him to get a Swedish citizenship, because there might be relatives in the UK being entitled to stuff. Is he still a citizen there? He would still adhere to UK law in that regard. I don't know. I'm guessing here. I'm saying that might be one of the things.
So here's the scheme. We'll send one of us over there, and then we'll put us down as the beneficiary for their life insurance policy or something. So that because the policy is there, if Wayne should kick the bucket whilst over there, that property has to go.
Hey, wait a minute.
We do not care.
Shut up. We're going to be fine, goddammit.
Oh, wrong button.
No, that was on purpose. The plan is they'll have to give me citizenship, because if Wayne kicks it, then I'll need his property, and they can't send me the property without me having citizenship. And then we cancel the fucking policy, and then we do the same thing with Brenna, and we go through every single American. And then we all just move there.
Mikey, I need you to leave Wayne alone. He's already in a wheelchair, okay?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I mean, you guys are talking about moving all around the earth. Well, sometimes the earth moves back. Y'all had to have an earthquake during the hurricane, Brenna. This is not a competition.
Yeah, it's now called the Hurricane.
Oh my!
Jesus!
Now the interesting part was that before, like, we had a conversation about natural disasters before we had the hurricane and the tropical storm, and I talked about the earthquake that we had years ago, and
oh my fucking god, I'm fucking calling off.
You made fun of us for oh, it's an earthquake. No, everything was destroyed, right?
Bruh, I'm not picking up one of them bottles.
This was quite funny because we're all in the middle of like worried about flooding and winds and power going out. Like, we're all worried about this, and all of a sudden there's like earthquake.
It's like California saw Hawaii and said, "Hold my beer."
So I'll shake the beer right out of your hand.
Look.
Oh, dude. Oh my god. Can you imagine how many fucking school supply fucking displays got knocked over? I would be furious.
School supplies and Halloween.
Oh
the beer!
We
already have Halloween. We have Halloween out here already. So.
Oh my god! What about the vineyards, the wine cellars? You know they got fucking shocks and fucking sprays all over that shit. Oh, fucking Wayne! I'm on my way for the rescue mission.
This was in LA. We don't have anything.
His hands are going so fast, I can't even see him anymore.
His hands are moving independent from his body.
He's just using the force of his hand and the wind to carry them. Just like E Honda's 1,000 hand slap. Just
exactly. But I'm finding the Chun-Li 1,000-foot kick.
Oh yeah, dude. I've been watching like a lot of those Street Fighter 6 competitions. Yeah, holy shit. I'm not playing that game anymore. Those guys are fucking real ass fucking ninjas. I was like, God, how are you reacting that fast? It was 3 frames. I'm out.
Yeah. It's just mad when you see them with just how their fingers are moving on them controllers, and it's like, what?
I was like,
well, even in Tekken, like the combos. No.
Oh yeah, they'll just keep you in the air the entire time. I don't know. I can't be bothered. But see me in Halo. Our friend in the frozen North Canadian Ollie Man and Neil, please get your country under control. You and California have been fighting about who has the best forest fires for weeks. We allowed it because we thought it was hilarious, but now it's okay. Stop.
Just getting silly.
Now the one-upsmanship is really unprofessional at this point. It's getting a
Hey,
little.
look, we had a hurricane and an earthquake at the same time.
So they're like,
What,
cool.
Brenna?
Well, we put a tornado
cannot
in our forest
stress.
fire.
Really getting all defensive about her natural disasters.
Hey,
like the first one of you assholes.
earthquakes.
The first one of you assholes to pull down a meteor. I'm gonna be like, all right, that is enough.
Mm-hmm.
The moon is falling from the sky, guys.
Stop!
Somebody's gonna get hurt.
If I can just join in from across the pond, we had an earthquake once in Coventry, and it was 2.3 on the Richter scale. Someone's
yeah.
cup fell over.
Honey, when you see the sun, that's a natural disaster.
Oh, they 5.1 is what the fuck. While the tropical storm is crashing across the mainland, here comes the 5.1 magnitude earthquake.
Our poor California's like, whoa! I gotta get in on this.
It's gonna wait for Godzilla to attack now.
I might steal this footage and put it in 1,000 movies because this is the most dooming
Insane.
shit I've ever seen. Like, check this out.
Mordor.
Literally. Or I'm expecting like the Emotep's face to come through that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is like the smoke is making. Oh.
Or the old Balrog.
That is insane. No, thank you. Hard pass.
Now
No,
you
no,
just
I'm
need
good.
thunder lightning.
That's okay, Mikey. Climate change isn't real.
It's a hoax.
It's a hoax. China and India are the real problems.
If you trace that column all the way up, it will go to the Jewish space hurricane generator.
I think it's a really major mistake and an insult to me.
Didn't she act like
Also,
she never
you-
said it?
You also have to remember climate change aren't real because it was colder and wetter in one little town in Sweden
Mm-hmm.
in July than
Oh
it
yeah.
yeah. So
You can find any anomaly to discount all of climate change. ever.
yeah. So the fact that like the entire Earth is hotter than it's ever been, that has nothing to do because it was cold in this town in Sweden.
The water off the coast of Florida got up to 100 degrees.
Yeah.
But I think you'll find if you look at this weather chart, they've used a really dark red this year, but the same temperature last year, it was just orange.
Mm.
Coincidence? I
They
don't
just
think
change
so.
colors.
I
They
should
just
think
change
not.
colors. They just change colors.
That's more of a magenta.
Fuchsia.
We had hurricane warnings, and everybody in California was like, "Okay, cool, sounds good."
I seen people was out there in the water surfing and shit. I'm like, see, it's just
Mhm.
something about natural disasters where you kind of feel like, well, I'm gonna die anyway. I'm gonna ride the tsunami that's gonna fucking wipe out the whole town.
I
Like,
might
there's
as
just,
well
like,
have
that
enough
little-
toilet paper to last me.
Mm.
There's like that little section of everybody's brain that just kind of and just kind of goes a little cray cray and just does silly shit when natural disasters come. It happens like the tornadoes coming down the street, and I'm gonna look at this.
But see,
I'ma just
again,
look. And you just
being
can't
in
get pulled
being in
away.
California, like the natural disaster that is going to kill us, we cannot prepare for. So, and
Sure you
obviously, because
can.
we did.
Look, Brenna, I could fix your little earthquake problem, like overnight.
Okay, I'm listening.
You ever heard of a little thing called slap seal? Fix that fault line right up. Just whoosh, put a couple of those on
Okay.
there. That fault line
Okay.
ain't going nowhere.
Just stick it together.
Or caulk. Just fill it up.
All we need
So
to
you
do,
said cork, right? Cork.
yeah, all we need to
Oh.
do to fix this.
What did I say?
But all we
You
need
think
to
you
do
know
to
me.
fix this. So
Fake
all we
taxi.
really need to do to fix this is to get Dwayne Johnson, Vin Diesel, Jason Statham, and Jared Butler in the same room.
Hold up,
Whoa. Hold on.
You forgot the big man.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Thank you, Wayne. I'm on the same page.
Which
I'm
one?
Idris Elba.
What? Yeah.
I goes where I goes.
What the-
He's never been in a disaster movie.
He doesn't need to be. He saves everyone.
He the disaster runs away when he walks in the room.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Disaster's got good sense to get the fuck out of Dodge when the fucking
Just
big
because
driss
he
is coming
makes
down
really
the plank.
good coffee and he's a really good barista.
And you also forgot Denzel.
Yeah.
He's sitting there snipping off natural disasters' fingers.
You know his name's Denzel.
Yeah.
Like he said, his name's Denzel, and he just lets us say Denzel. That is the like.
It gives it more weight.
How chill of a person do you have to be to have about 1 billion people fucking pronounce your name wrong, and you just don't bother fixing it? I would be apoplectic if everyone called me Mickey Famine. I would go crazy if 1 billion people knew me as Mickey Famine. I would rather live in a rock than be famous by the wrong name.
Do you mean that that's wrong?
You know, if I could understand more of your language, I would insult you better. But I don't have that right now.
So Mickey Famina, do we have any more topics for today?
I can't believe Denzel Washington just lets everybody call it the wrong thing. Are we counting down to 7:30? 7:30. What's happening at 7:30? Oh, is Trump's thing going at 7:30? What's at 7:30?
7:30 was about 3 hours ago.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's got to turn himself in.
Really?
Yeah, he's got to turn himself in for Georgia.
Didn't
No,
they
he's
post some
going to turn
mugshots of his other lot?
He's going to turn himself in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's getting a mugshot. He's turning himself in at 7:30 today. That's what he said. He has to turn himself in by tomorrow.
mugshot the world has ever seen.
I probably got a mugshot running around somewhere.
So what? So he just needs to show up, turn himself in, and post the 200,000 button.
I don't think he needs to post that. I think he only has to pay that if he breaches it.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Because he was
Brendan,
told
can you
that
grab me a link?
I don't know his surrender requirements. I do know that he can't intimidate anyone.
or imply it or retweet or anything like that could intimidate
He's not allowed
any kind of witness. Well, that truth thingy or what?
I have it. So the defendant shall perform no act to intimidate any person known to him or her to be a co-defendant or witness in this case, or to otherwise obstruct the administration of justice.
Yeah.
The order is signed by the Fulton County Superior Court Judge Scott McAfee.
So
states.
can't talk to the judge, the DA, the jurors. You can't do that. And because we know Trump so well,
he's good at keeping his mouth shut.
It's
oh yeah, Mikey.
He must be sitting there in Mar-a-Lago like this.
There's more.
Can I have my phone?
The above shall include, but are not limited to, posts on social media or reposts of posts made by another individual on social media. So he's not even allowed to repost stuff that other people wrote.
So if somebody intimidates, say, the judge, he's not allowed to retweet that.
He's not allowed to acknowledge it. I think that includes sort of liking and things like that.
Well, I would just like to say that he has the freedom to do so, but it would violate his not being in jail right now.
Yeah. If he wants to stay out of jail, he better.
And if Mr. Trump, you're watching, tweet away. Have at it. Call me and see you next Tuesday. I don't mind.
You won't do it. No balls.
But we do have an answer
you ain't got a minimal, son.
We do have an answer to the $200,000 question. It was 20,000 to post bail, and then another 180 if he breaches bail.
Yeah,
that sounds like it sounds like it's a $200,000 bail, and he had to post 10%.
Yeah.
So he'll lose the other 180K if he breaches it.
Yeah. I was watching your man Cohen. What's his name? Oh, I forgot his name.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
No.
Andy Cohen?
Andy Cohen.
He's a political commentator.
Sean Hannity?
on YouTube, Mr. Cohen.
Am I really
his lead
informing
name.
you?
But
No,
Tucker
I'm not.
Carlson?
I'm misleading you.
no,
Conan the Barbarian.
he's got
If
a
you
triple
owned
barrel
you, how
name.
ridiculous that statement is, you wouldn't have said it.
But anyway, he does like this legal breakdown, and the lawyer that he had on basically said that there have been breaches of these bonds before, and it's basically down to the judge's discretion whether he imprisons him or just gives him a little slap on the wrist. And he said Brian Taylor Cohen, that's the guy.
Tyler.
Yeah. So it's down to the judge's discretion. Like, he could breach it 5 times, and the judge could be like, "That's all right. Just don't do it a 6th time."
Yeah.
So it's kind of a bit of a publicity stunt sort of thing. Maybe it's an ego flex by the judge.
And I think the judge understands that this Trump is still a defendant. He's still a citizen, so he still has some legal rights. He's also very dumb, and he doesn't understand what his legal rights are because he has nothing but idiots giving him legal advice.
Yeah, he's got nothing but Lionel Hutz around him.
And I think the judge understands that, so that's why the judge is acting the way that they are. Because if they went by the numbers, he'd definitely be in jail by now.
Oh, definitely.
But the brouhaha that would create, is it worth it? Is the brouhaha worth whatever this is? And that's the politics of law, right? Like, what's the inherent danger? Is there going to be some inherent danger to the neighborhood if I bring him in over something that's off color but not quite a threat yet?
It's not only that; it's the judge's political leanings as well that could be scrutinised on that front. Especially, I mean,
they're already getting death. They're already getting death threats.
Yeah, but I mean, look how the right weaponize any scrutiny of Trump. Oh, it's the deep state. No matter what it is, you know, he could literally do that whole thing where he says he's going to shoot someone on Fifth Avenue, and they'll go, "Oh, it's a deep state trying to get at Trump." Okay.
He could jump jump the turnstile, and they'll be like, "Oh, the turnstile's not going to just now he has to pay for it. All he's done for the city, now he's got to pay for it." Like, clearly, you can't jump the turnstile. Everybody knows you can't jump the turnstile. Like, what are you talking about?
But I think this, like, if you don't have consequences for actions, this is what happens, is that now everybody's like we can yell, scream, we can threaten the judge, and nothing's going to happen to us because Trump can do it and nothing happens to him.
Right.
So you have to have consequences for these actions. So if Trump does end up threatening the judge or jury or anybody, he has to have consequences. He can't just get a slap on the wrist because that's what everybody else is going to expect.
I just hope it's not monetary, like a monetary slap on the leg. Like, oh, that's $200. That's $200,000. It's like he's not gonna pay it. Like, what do you? Don't do that.
I mean, even if he ends up under house arrest or something like that for doing that, like, that's a consequence, and he needs consequences. He is a U.S. citizen, and that's.
But I think, sorry, Brenna.
Yeah, and this, like, he has to be treated like any other citizen. Yes, there's a little bit of special treatment because he, his access to money, his access to influence, but he's not president. He doesn't get the same presidential treatment as a sitting president.
But I think what's happening through sort of like some sort of behavioural osmosis, we're seeing the same over here with regards to Boris Johnson breaking rules, doing what he likes. It's then sort of like going through the ranks, through the chattering classes, down to us sort of mockles at the ground floor. And people were seeing this behaviour and going, do you know what? We can do what we like. I mean, you've had it in America recently with all these like spates of shoplifting where people were told just let them just take what they want, don't challenge them because there's no consequences. Again, America sneezes, we catch a cold. We've had a similar thing in Oxford Street over here just recently where it was arranged on TikTok of all places for kids just to go and run into shops and just take what they want and do one because there's no consequences. So if we're seeing people at the top behaving in the most abhorrent way and not being consequenced, then what's to stop us doing it? And it's showing because police can't arrest everyone, and they can't prosecute everyone because they literally haven't got the resources. So we'll
And
just blame the. Go on.
and then the right wing's response is, well, then we need to get more cops, right?
Yeah.
But what that's displaying is that there are inherent problems with your society.
Mhm.
There are needs in the community that are not being addressed. And he's like, why are they looting everything? Okay, if I have everything I need in my house, why the hell am I going to go into somewhere else? If I have a job, why am I going downtown to loot Target if I already have my needs met?
Yeah.
You don't steal when you're not hungry.
No.
But
You know?
that's that right wing ideal about how you don't treat it at the source. You're just treating symptoms, and you're not treating the overall disease.
Yeah.
And they don't want to, because when you do that, you have to acknowledge that everybody deserves equality in that society, because we all have to have good jobs. We all have to have, health care and preventative measures. We all have to have safe neighborhoods. We all have, all these things. We have to be all well educated, and we all know that Republicans, and if you watch that debate, all of them wanted to take away education. So if you start realizing what the actual the underlying disease is, and you fix that, you fix all the other problems that they have. And you can't do that when you have, this highly aggressive right wing, and especially when they create ultra highly aggressive, ultra right wing, and then you get. So we have to have consequences for actions, and Trump, because he's at the top, needs consequences for his dangerous actions. And if he starts threatening people, he needs consequences, because you cannot do that. I cannot do that.
Like after he left the court, and then he did like a press thing, and then that night on True Souls, he was like, well, you coming after me, I'm coming after you. I'm like, lock him up. That's it, right?
Yeah.
But the judge had the discretion, and the judge did not decide. But I think Jack Smith put in like a TPO, like temporary protection order.
Yeah.
For like him and the jurors and the judges and all that shit. So it's not a.
Yeah.
There's so that
gotta be something.
just so that it's on paper that no one should be contacting us. And if anything happens to us, it's in violation of the court order, and now he can go straight to jail.
Yeah.
So let some shit pop off, and you're going straight to jail.
Yeah. Imagine the judge has got the stones to bang him up though.
I would have did it already.
He kind of, if it was a regular citizen and did all that stuff, I mean, they would be in jail.
Yeah, but come on, just look at the MAGA crazies that you've got going to these rallies,
because they don't have consequences, Wayne.
But what I'm saying is, it's not like that they go to these, like the interviews. They go to these rallies and just pick out the absolute weirdest of the weird. They're all like that. They're all sitting there like it is like a cult, and they are just sort of like he's our guy, but he's done this. Oh yeah, that was a deep state.
Yeah. That's the cult. That's the cult of personality that he's created, and he's created these monsters, and he's created his minions.
And Mikey, this is where if you was a great producer, you'd have Living Colour queued up right now.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah. So Warner Brothers can take our fucking dollar that we're gonna make off of this fucking thing. No, hell no, that's our dollar.
That'll be the deep state.
Patreon.com/thebinpodcast. That's what I need to do. I need to get.
We need to do a real promo, guys.
We're doing it today.
Okay.
So we need to get through our topics, and then we're gonna do like a quick production thing. We're doing a whole bunch of little things so we can whip it up into funny graphics. Like it would be fun if we had like, thanks, bitch, for following every time that someone followed, and it would be my voice saying it, or Wayne.
Hey, baby, give us a follow.
No, you'd have to thank them for the follow, Brenna.
Oh. Hey.
We're doing this later. All right. No, don't give it away.
Don't give it away.
Don't give it away.
Preview.
It's just like the 5-second. Never mind. Speaking of 5-second preview,
I want to ask about the practicalities of how this would work. Let's just assume that we do it, right? Let's just assume that.
that was my favorite transition of the whole show.
And
Punching gear change.
So in the UK, you guys didn't really have like a 40 acres and a mule kind of thing after slavery ended, huh?
We just paid up all the slave owners and told everyone else to do one.
So there, like, what was because in
the way that you dealt with ending slavery was then go, well,
fine, get out.
Well, here they need you. They need the slaves. So let's just move it on to a different country.
Yeah, we paid compensation to the slave owners and then just went, slaves, yeah, sorry about that. We good?
The US needs some Cuba.
Yeah. So
Puerto
you see this big boat here. Yeah, take it somewhere a bit warmer. Fancy it? Crack on.
There you go. Yep, that's exactly what they did.
And don't you dare come back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because then they become
You take care,
citizens.
now you hear?
Yeah. You guys did a good job there.
So basically,
Congratulations.
what's happening in the media at the minute is there's been a big debate about reparations and how would they be paid? Who deserves them? How does this work? And this is GB News, which is basically the Fox News of the UK. And you can see by the presenter that they're not the highest quality of media personalities. But Mikey, you want to play and we'll discuss after.
Oh man, I don't know, man. He's got those Beats headphones.
Britain does it. Well, whatever percentage Rafe said there of our population currently residing in Britain, it was not British born. You'd also have a load of people.
Born. You guys are so funny. Like I love British people so much.
See,
Y'all talk so funny.
the thing about the British is that they hide things by not hiding.
It's so cute. You guys are
come and play poker with me. I've got no tells at all.
Yeah.
Oh, nothing. There's nothing.
No.
I got nothing.
I'm all in.
I got nothing.
Oh shit. Progress only in the chat says 18.8 trillion pounds. That's like 24 trillion USD. Holy shite. US estimate is like 12 trillion. I think Irish Swede did a video on it. I can't remember what he said the total was. But he did like a full like hour-long video breaking down because he's an economist. Go follow Irish Swede. I will pop it over in the chat right there. I'll put a little thing on the screen. Yeah, go follow Irish Swede and I'll put a link to his video.
Population currently residing in Britain, it was not British born. You'd also have a load of people who will be first and second generation, quite possibly from countries where they're saying that we owe reparations to. So who is paying this then?
Paying.
So, I mean, firstly, I'm British born, but I am descendant of Nigerians. And if you compare how
me too.
much wealth I have or how much income I have to people who live in Nigeria today, I make a significant, and by significant I mean tens or hundreds, or more than hundreds, more than them. Because
who is this guy? Do you know this guy? Who is this guy, Wayne?
No, but I know someone who's got the same surname as him. I've just noticed. Sorry, I don't know.
You never seen any of his films he's made?
No.
Or films he's written?
Mikey, I said to you, there's 10 million people in London alone. I don't know everyone who's brown.
I'm not. It's not a dig on you. It's a dig on his lack of
presence.
Yeah, like he's a filmmaker and writer.
I've
done a couple of school projects too. Yeah, like I've done some projects too.
If you go on GB News, you're probably not the.
Sorry, Wayne. I'm so sorry. Say that one more time, Brenna.
No.
Say it.
Nope. I'm not going to say it. And you can't make me say it.
Do it, Brenna.
No.
Say it.
Say it.
Say the words.
Nope.
Say the magic words.
Nope.
She said she's made films.
Hundreds.
If you say it, I'll put my pants back on.
God.
More than hundreds, more than them. because of the fact that I live in the UK, because the UK is the 6th richest country in the world, previously the 5th before Brexit. So the fact that the UK is wealthy benefits the people living in the UK now. And also, no one is.
Oh, if only he understood how regressive his thinking is.
Saying that I, as a Nigerian, should personally put money in my pocket and give it in terms of reparations to a Caribbean. People are saying that the UK as an entity, which became rich by leading the slave trade and which has passed that wealth on to subsequent generations, because we all know about inheritance and we all know that wealth is inherited. I'm sure you're going to leave money to your children when you die.
Oh, I got some debt for you, baby girl. Oh, you're getting a little nest egg of shit that I forgot to take care of.
Yeah, well, these white envelopes that I didn't open. Here you go, darling.
A couple of red ones in there too.
Yeah, they start getting like yellow and then they get red.
That some of that wealth should be returned because the Caribbean today is largely poor, and of course Africa itself. When a large portion of your workforce age, young youthful population is stolen and taken away, your economy obviously takes a hit. If a large proportion of young men in the United Kingdom was stolen from the country now, it would affect the future of the United Kingdom.
All right, Rafe, come back to that then.
All right. What say you guys before this guy goes?
Not wrong.
I'm very confused.
Fair point.
He's kind of all over the place. Because he kicked it off saying, "Well, I'm kind of happy for slavery because if Great Britain had never used slavery to build this economic powerhouse, I would never be able to make the money that I'm making now." Like that is such a Monday morning quarterback argument, right? Like it doesn't talk to anything about the ethics or the morality of the situation. It's just I've benefited from it, so the ends justify the means. Like it's all fine because I made money at the end of the day, so clearly it must not have been that bad. Like what the fuck is that?
No, but that's contradictory to his second point. This is the second point that I'm agreeing with.
No.
The first point, I think he's using that as an example rather than a glorification, if you will.
I just don't think that his point is as good as he thinks it is, because
it's a weak point for him to go so long about it.
And he also cancels himself out by making the exact opposite point, and that's why I'm saying I'm confused, because he was like he was arguing himself, but he thought that the second argument would reinforce the first one, but it really didn't. So I just don't get it.
Yeah, it was almost like the second part was kind of like, well, I could see how they would say that they lost the young men from their workforce. I could see that. But it's like, I don't know.
It would be like I was forced to go out and fish for no money with, work, slavery, yes?
Yeah.
And it's okay because, at the end of the day, I was fed.
Yeah, like that. What the fuck does that matter? You shouldn't have been there in the first place. You should have been feeding yourself and taking care. Like you got to, and that's like,
that's what I mean. Like
that's what tort. That's what the whole point of tort and law is for. It's to make you whole. It's to make it so that this whole interaction never happened.
Hence my confusion.
Yeah.
Okay, so what the man's got to say.
Yeah.
Well, firstly, I would say, if as a Nigerian, if Britain is to pay reparations, and I think Femi as a Nigerian, another Nigerian should also pay reparations, because we have to remember it was from the west coast of Africa, from states like Benin and Nigeria today, that slaves were enslaved by other Africans. There were as many slaves kept.
There it is.
There we go.
There it is.
And that's why he's booked on GB News.
Yeah.
That's why he's booked
there
on GB
Somebody
News.
watched the PragerU video.
Yeah.
That said the exact same thing.
There it is.
Yeah. Well, no, they were enslaving their own people, so it's okay when they sold them off to other enslavers.
Yeah.
But like I said to you earlier, Mikey, he's brown, so they can put him on here and they bypass the accusation.
Slavery by Africans.
Oh, wait. There we go.
Am I really informing you? No, I'm not. I'm misleading you.
as were transported over the Atlantic. No white men were going inland and capturing slaves. They were purchasing slaves sold to them by the African chiefs of.
Officer, they sold me the drugs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So perfectly legal.
Clearly, it is their fault that I am in possession of 14 pounds of methamphetamine.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Clearly, it is that
Just
gentleman over there's fault.
Move along.
And you didn't plant it either.
of Western Africa. So if Britain is being asked to pay for slavery, then obviously people in Nigeria should also be paying for slavery. Also, Femi has just said that the Caribbean is very poor. Actually, the Caribbean are middle-income countries, far wealthier than the West African countries from where the slaves first came. The GDP per head in Benin, for example, is approximately one.
Man, his audio is such shit.
Yeah.
And he's outside. He's clearly using like some really shoddy mic.
He's
Probably
on
his mobile phone.
Yeah, he's on his phone. He's probably got a case on it or something. It's fucking the audio up. It just sounds just like shit.
$1,500 a year. You go to somewhere like Barbados, it's $14,000 a year. Portugal, the biggest slave trader of all, is a poor country today. Slavery didn't benefit these European powers, as is often said.
Because nothing happened
Really,
in between.
motherfucker?
Nothing happened in between the beginning and the end of the slave trade and when he's talking about right now. Nothing else happened in history.
He just eradicated like 500 years of history.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
We're only talking about
fine.
slavery.
It's called convenience.
No, I'm gonna jump up in the timeline to, when like a couple of droughts and a couple of failed leaders. Now let's look at Portugal.
Right.
See,
All
broke
right.
as shit. Like what the fuck?
So I had to live Google this. So just to illiterate how fucking insane his argument is, the import of slave was banned in European Portugal in 1761.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is almost fucking 300 years ago. So you're saying that nothing that happened, within the economy over the last 300 years has nothing to do with it? Like, it was built on the backs of slaves up until that point. And as soon as we could not get free labor by fucking kidnapping people from other countries, yes, it took 300 years and it fucking fell apart. But that's not the fucking slaves' fault.
So Portugal banned slavery when? 17 what?
1771. Or 61.
Okay, so 1761. Portugal's out of the slave game, right?
Mm-hmm.
1853, on the other hand. So, like, even if he wants to cut the line at Portugal, America still had 100 more years of it.
Yep.
And
America,
all of you
fuck
motherfuckers,
yeah.
and all of you motherfuckers were wearing shit that came out of the Carolinas and came out of Georgia. Everybody around the world was wearing that shit.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I ain't trying. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah,
All that was
that Virginia
was
tobacco.
due to slavery and the not only the slave trade, but
Yeah.
from one country to another, but the way that slaves were treated in order to create more slaves.
Right.
Yeah.
So now you have an entire economy built not just on stealing people from one place and bringing them to another place, but now you're forcing them to give birth to more free labor. And then you get to sell them off because they're yours. They entirely belong to you and they were free.
Like kittens.
Yep.
Alex Progress Only says, stepped away from phone. Who the fuck does this guy think he is? They stopped slavery and now Portugal sucks. Like what?
It's a coherent argument.
Portugal's sitting there on their couch watching, like,
Wait,
I didn't fucking do anything to this guy. Like, what the fuck?
By the way, I am Portuguese. I know I don't. I actually don't look it, but I'm Portuguese,
I
so
have no idea what a
it's
Portuguese person looks like.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Oh my God, they're goddesses and gods. He's like
Yeah, they all look like
6'4"
that.
with a chiseled fucking jawline,
Yeah.
a 90 pack.
Yeah.
If you go to Portugal,
Calves
it's
that
just
aren't too
line
big.
after line of Cristiano Ronaldos. They all look exactly the same.
They're a bunch of clones. It's like Camino
Yeah.
in that bitch. Bunch of Bobas.
That's why they're so poor, because they spent all their money on cloning vats.
You know, they actually shot Star Wars in Portugal.
Exactly. Yeah, Boba Fett is one of the first Cristiano Ronaldos.
He's one of the beta models.
He's Gen 1.
No, the prototype. This is a prototype.
Okay. I want to know if this is going somewhere because it's giving me a headache.
Okay.
Let's break his head.
In this country, in the UK, slavery only contributed to about 3% of capital formation. The Caribbean.
But what did you do in the slave trade? It was a trade. We just talked about RICO in Georgia. This is if the act is criminal, then this is a criminal enterprise where this is being traded for this, which is traded for this, which is traded. You're all implicated, motherfucker. There is no getting out of this. Everyone's hands
And
are
this-
covered in slave blood. I'm sorry.
And this is the trade. He's still just talking about the trade part of it, the taking from one place to another place. That's
not
not,
the goods that the slaves
not
produced.
the entire entity of what slavery and enslaved people ended up doing for the economy.
Right. Oh, right.
This-
Like he's treating
this-
them like like they were tokens. It's like, well, that
Like
token cost $5, so there's only $20 in sales. That's not a big
Yeah.
thing, but those people are working. Like
And
you're right. He's trying to count the people instead of the work they're doing.
And this all stems from one of the families, the legacy families that benefited from the slave trade, who had a massive, their entire fortune. They've got stately homes, and they're all like up there aristocrats. They've decided that they're going to apologise for their part in the slave trade. So everyone's like up in arms. Why should we apologise? Why should we apologise for the slave trade? We had nothing to do with it. You was never a slave. We shouldn't be paying all this money. And it descended into these sort of debates. And it's like, well, hang on a minute, mate. Let's look at the legacy of it. And there is still statues of people in Britain. There are stately homes in Britain that were all funded by these people. And when someone points out that, see that geezer over there, his great granddad was a bit of a wrong un. And you say, you can't say that about my great granddad. Well, here are the reasons why. And if you don't want to acknowledge that, then you don't want to acknowledge history. If you don't want to acknowledge history, then you don't want to acknowledge facts.
That's your version of the fucking Dixie flag.
Yeah.
It's like, that's racist. It's like, no, it's not. Okay, look.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know how many times I
No,
can say
no,
it.
it's racist. It's racist history. We
Yeah.
can
This
we can
is my
say two things at
heritage.
we can say two things at one time.
Yeah, but it's like people feel personally affronted by it, by pointing out these facts. And it's like, well, you can say that, see your old great granddad, he was Jack the Ripper. Yeah, but he was a lovely bloke.
He brought
No.
us Christmas presents.
No, he wasn't. You can't atone him for these things here, and then just.
But I didn't know
discredit-
he was a serial killer living next door. He was really nice and he came to our parties.
He kept bringing me.
Exactly.
He kept bringing me ladies' rings.
Yeah. He kept bringing me jewelry and
He was so generous.
yeah, he was very nice to me. He was
I
nice
asked-
to me. He
I-
he couldn't have murdered a bunch of people because he was really nice to me.
I asked
There you
him.
go.
I asked him to spot me $5. He gave me a fistful of necklaces. I never thanked the guy enough.
You see this pearl necklace? This is how much he cares for me.
Look at how much.
I had to clean it a bit afterwards.
Even had my name
There's
on
some
it.
random blood.
Button! Press the button.
What button?
The play button.
On which button?
Jotan wants to leap through
The
it.
dirty jokes button.
Oh.
Oh. It's because I said pearl necklace.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that was a thing. Ugh. I mean, whatever
He
for
even
whoever.
described this. He even fucking described it as sticky.
Zoltan,
you're right.
Zoltan,
Yeah,
did you see
that's
how I
my fault.
slipped that one in under the radar?
No,
I
it
didn't
wasn't
say
under the
anything.
I'm on it
radar.
now.
It's
I
just
didn't want to say anything.
Mikey has a little kid and he doesn't have time to watch porn anymore, so he's forgotten.
That is true. I watch a lot less porn than I used to. That's true.
Yeah, well,
I don't
a lot
have-
more Teletubbies.
No, she doesn't. So this is my thing. I'm not giving my kid any of that fucking kid content. We're doing.
Yeah, you
we're doing-
wait.
We're
We're
doing
doing
music.
unboxing videos.
No, we're doing music and live
Yeah.
performances and animal videos and
Yeah.
just like I found some like visualizations of like colors and but I'm gonna my goal is to give her perfect pitch. But yeah, we're not doing Mickey Mouse. If it happens, it'll be after she goes to school. But for the first 3-4 years, she's all mine. You ain't getting that shit.
Wait till she learns how the remote control works.
Yeah.
All I'm saying.
Yeah. I got batteries in that joint, so I just keep those batteries in that pocket. Pop them in when I want to change the channel, and
Yeah, but by the time she's that age, you'll probably have a in-skin interface.
in 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh God. What do you think is gonna happen tomorrow? You think I'm gonna
How
have
far we've
fucking...
come in 2 years?
We went from
Mikey's favorite thing is going to happen. The
stop it. No.
AI is going to take over.
Yeah.
No, fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll be like, yeah, whatever, Dad. She's just writing up her own thing on ChatGPT.
Yeah. She'll have,
my
she'll,
God.
she'll have cartoons in a matter of 2
Yeah,
minutes.
beamed directly into her eyeballs.
So can I? Well, good. Shartan's gone. So we're not gonna do the video right now.
No, it's fine.
I will explain my hatred for AI in 1 minute. I'm looking at the timer. Okay. Oh wait, I have a timer button. I have 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and 1 hour. Okay, that's too long. Never mind. So with the ChatGPT thing, it's novel. Everyone thinks it's funny because it does a bad job at it. With the pictures thing, it's not really getting it right. That looks crazy. That doesn't look right. And then there's the deep fakes. And the deep fakes look, oh, that looks pretty good, but you can kind of tell here and there that doesn't look. Like, I'm not sure you guys are ready for the social ramifications for deep fakes to be too good. And
There's already one that I've seen.
And what are you guys going to do when the MAGA people are now believing deep fakes? Right? Like now, 4chan users which we all know are the salt of the earth, just wonderful folk. What are you going to do when the worst of us is allowed to literally create phony things that you can't tell the difference on?
Well, there's already
know?
one that I've seen, and there's a guy over here called Martin Lewis, who's the money saving expert, and he has publicly stated on all channels that have him, he's got his own show, that he does not endorse any internet get rich quick scheme, anything like that, or any trading thing. He's been lobbying government to cut it out from social media platforms, saying don't use my face. I will never endorse any of these products. I clicked on a YouTube video earlier, and they have got him in his house doing one of his pieces to camera, saying that he's endorsing this particular product that is being brought out by not Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. But you can see in the way that the mouth is moving, that is completely fake. The mouth doesn't match the words, and the wording that he's using is very specific. And you can go on the internet and find him using these exact phrases in that exact same timbre and tone, with that cadence, and you know that it's a deep fake because you can see the mouth moving. And Joe Rogan has also said there's loads of him advertising stuff on the radio because they've got thousands of hours of him talking, and they've just got him advertising stuff all over the world. But there's nothing he can do because it's already
out there.
It's already out there. So they're basically just sampling people. I mean, there's probably enough to do all of us here.
Right. And then they want the extras to come in for a day's work, 1 day's pay, get scanned when they come in, work for 1 day, and then they're going to just they'll never need extras again. So like I know I sound alarmist, but I don't think everybody's really thought this all the way through. I know what everyone's eventual goal is. I know why everyone's pushing AI. It's so that you can have a digital fuck VR girlfriend. We know.
That's the whole point of technology.
Like, I know you're trying to get the VR fucking with the fleshlight rig set up. Like, I get it. You want to have sex.
Wayne. Wayne needs full access to the internet.
I'm just making sure you can't see anything. Yeah.
It's just like, I get that. That's what you guys.
Use a real girl.
Those fake taxi videos do not watch themselves.
I'm just saying, I get that this is what they want to do. And and it's a noble thing. Sure. It might have been really, really fun. But the furthering of this technology is like, I can't see anywhere that any part of the land it touches dies. As soon as it gets to music for real, because it's already here. But as soon as it gets there for real, how do you know if it's a T-Pain song or not?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, music is math.
Yep.
You can learn the patterns. You can understand the algorithm of what someone's style is. I can go in and take each and every one of our voices and get the exact harmonics, so I can make a fucking flute sound like your voice. You know what I mean? Like it's already most of this is already a thing. But when people don't like, why would you trust the worst and schemiest motherfuckers we've ever heard of with the most powerful technology to disrupt almost every industry that any sort of creativity touches?
I think that you're partially correct, Mikey. Yes, music is maths, and especially pop music in the last 20 years has been based around the same 4-chord progression. But I also think that you're wrong, because music won't die, film won't die, the whole AI thing. Like, we had a stint in the 90s where everything was playback. Everything was playback. Nobody. The best.
What do you mean? What do you mean it was playback?
People were just miming on stage.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They were just playing records. Like in the
lip-syncing.
90s.
Yeah. Top of the Pops was notorious for that.
Yeah. It was in the 90s. This was like it was a standard, right? And all of a sudden came 2000, and live music fucking came back. The live scene is bigger than it's been for 20 years.
I've got to push back on that. I think a lot of that is to do with streaming, because there's no money in actual physical sales now, and streaming.
Absolutely. There's not just one parameter. I'm just saying that live music came back. People like live music. They tried doing sing back, where they had everything on tape, and you only the lead vocals were on, like American Idol and The Voice and all of that. But they fucking brought back the band. They took back the band because there's a difference. People might not know it, but they stop watching after a while because it feels different. It's less generic. It's less alive when it's just a tape going in and back. People know the difference. They might not know it right away, and there might be AI technology that can make it seem like something, but in the end, I don't think it's gonna die.
I'm gonna push back at you now.
Yeah.
Can I just address something in chat while we're doing that? Because Mike,
Yes,
it will link back in.
Yeah.
So Progress Only has just said this is the reason why the actor strike is going so hard, which is true, because the whole likeness thing you said, when they sign over, the actors sign over their likeness, and then they can just digitally reproduce them
forever.
So yeah, so they don't need that actor anymore. One session, thank you, bye bye. So sorry, continue. Just wanted to address the chat.
And I'm going to push back because you're looking at music like you. There is a lot of shitty music that is very popular right now. I can tell you right now, there is no musicality in it. It's just hot garbage that they pump out and motherfuckers can't buy fast enough. They won't be able to tell when their music changes. You know what I mean? Like, you're talking about concerts and people who play instruments. Yes, that is still going to be a thing. But the large majority of music listeners are not concert goers. I don't know how many people I've run into that have never been to a concert, which blows my fucking mind because I was fucking scratching the door trying to get in. As soon as I was able to get to a concert, this is fucking great. And I was going every weekend. But there's people, and you've fucking been on tours. Wayne, you've been on tours. Like, not everybody has that experience. Like, we're kind of snobs, you know what I mean? We're kind of elitist when it comes to music because we have such a deeper experience than the average Joe who just has Sirius XM and Spotify in their car.
Absolutely. I understand what you're saying, but shitty music has always been around. Music for the masses, the dumbed down version, as you said. Now, yes, I sound very elitist, but a lot of the stuff that is sometimes when I'm in the truck, I actually go in and I see like hits of the day on Apple Music, and I play that playlist for about 2 minutes, and I realize I might have skipped 3 or 4 songs without realizing it because it's so uninteresting. It's elevator music. It's just there in the background, and it's not engaging, and but that's from me, right? But some people like this, and we had Milli Vanilli back in the 90s. That wasn't great. 2 Unlimited, Hathaway, like.
Whoa!
Hold on, sir.
Whoa! Hathaway.
What is love?
That's a cultural classic right there.
Because Jim Carrey made a skit on fucking.
No, because it's a beautiful song. 1994. I remember it well.
Yeah. So, but that bad music, that bad electronic music has always been around. But you can't forget all the good electronic music, like Prodigy.
Depeche Mode.
No, wait a minute. Are you thinking that that's what the AI is going to make? No, I'm saying like the drill music that's out right now. The AI makes that the same as every single one of those producers. So what I'm saying is the drill producer is gone. Because now the artists can just go onto their AI thing, pay $8, and they get a whole track, and they don't have to pay anybody.
Absolutely, fucking do it. Because the guy that was making those bad songs now have to try a little harder to make real music instead of just pumping out shitty stuff.
But you're missing. I hear what you're saying, but you're still missing the point. I feel like you're shooting bail for bail that shouldn't be shot.
Okay, please.
Now, as a do you think it helps young musicians, to be able to just buy shitty tracks and pump shit out and distribute it themselves without ever having to work with another musician, ever? Because that's what it turns into. Because everybody who's a SoundCloud rapper is now a completely independent vessel that has no ties to the musical community. They don't have to learn anything about the craft that they're partaking in. It's like you have 1,000 grifters per hour now. You know what I mean? So now the one kid who is making music has to get on SoundCloud and compete with not 50 people in his neighborhood, but 1,000 people in his neighborhood. And all of them are putting out garbage, making noise, making it harder for the musician to show up. You know what I mean? Like it's going to turn into like the most disgusting oversaturation of bullshit content for music, video, art. All is a bunch of mediocre shit on the horizon, and it is going to be next to impossible to find the diamonds in the rough. Like it's already bad now.
Mikey Famine is this generation's Mark Knopfler. Video didn't kill the radio star, though, Sunshine.
Yeah, AI would have in a heartbeat.
But I just want to reply to Mickey here for a second. So it's just that because
hey Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my mind, Mickey. Hey Mickey.
Another belter.
Okay. I'll take it on the
No,
chin.
but
I'm tough.
yeah, I understand what you're saying, and yes, in this in this massive in this in this enormous space that we call the internet, and with the AI technology, yes, there will be drowning out a lot of talented people. Yes, this is, but and again, it's happening on a bigger scale now than before, but it's not unheard of. Like this has happened in music before, so. I don't think that the guy who's really good at what he does and he does it, that he, if he just hangs on.
That's not how it works, and you know that. I'm so shocked that you said that out loud. Just keep strumming away in your basement, guys. You got this. That's not how it works, dude. You know that. It's not how it works.
Yeah, but it's. I'm not saying that everybody who works hard is going to make it. You have to be unbelievably lucky. You need to be at the right place at the right time, meet the right people at the exact right time where your thing is a thing to make it. Like, and I'm not saying that, and there's no guarantee that the guy that you're talking about, that or the guys that you're talking about that are drowning out in the SoundCloud right now would have made it anyways. Like, we don't have those guarantees because there's so many parameters that need to, and criteria that need to be in place for you to be successful within the field of music. I'm just saying that this whole AI frenzy, it will go on for a limited amount of time. People will see through it. We have a word for it. It's called one-hit wonders. We will have people who have one-hit wonders. We will always have that, and it will be made by computers and AIs and all of that. The good stuff,
Well,
it will still be alive, and it will still be there.
Look, well, let's see.
Somebody
somebody
clip that. Somebody clip that so we have it, so I can have an "I told you so" later on, and I can toot my own horn.
Okay, it's 121. As we've just covered all of that lovely cultural debate, we'll see who in the future is going to be right, whether it's going to be Team Mikey or Team Zartan.
He's
One
Team
believes
AI.
that.
I'm Team Human.
Okay, well, if you want to do it that way, we'll see who plays that in the future. So we've had a lovely cultural chat and, nice discussion. Let's get back into the nitty gritty of, war, pestilence, famine, and the whole world's gone to shit.
Johannesburg, the economic capital of Africa, and home to political leaders from 46 countries around the world for the next 3 days.
South Africa is such a weird place because just looking at that landscape, I would have never guessed I was in Africa with the palm trees and the completely empty sidewalks and dark-skinned men walking around. Like, where the hell am I? Like, what is happening? It's my Cuba? Am I in Cuba?
Here for the 15th BRICS Summit. Russian President Putin's attendance is blocked by his International Criminal Court arrest warrant. It's a big year for BRICS. 40 countries around the world have shown interest in joining the 5-member bloc. 23 have made formal applications. This is the third round of South Africa.
Damn, Zartan, I know you're looking at that camera like, let me get one of those.
Calm down, guys.
You see that? You see the lens on that thing? Oh, yeah.
Big.
Oh, yeah.
Can you mount it in the back of a taxi, though?
Third round of South Africa hosting, and the first to come with the diplomatic nightmare of whether President Putin should or could legally attend.
His Excellency President Vladimir Putin.
His Excellency? Hell no.
Yeah. He's upgraded,
and
man.
though virtual, his presence is met with cheers of
They clap for Putin? Y'all wildin'.
defiance.
None of the terms of the so-called deal concerning the lifting of sanctions imposed on Russian exports of grain and fertilizers to world market have been fulfilled.
So we're going to talk about this next week.
But before you move on, I just have to say, as soon as you say anything in a Russian accent, it sounds like a threat. Like anything. Like it fucking sounds like even the translator sounds like she's threatening everybody.
Yeah, she's under duress right now.
You ever tried watching German porn?
We
It's
are
the most
fucking
aggressive thing ever.
We are horn fucking
moving on,
dogs
moving on,
today.
moving on,
We
moving
are
on.
fucking horn dogs today. Forgot what I was gonna fucking say. Why'd you interrupt me, Jartan? God damn it.
To world market have been.
Oh, right. This is what I remember now. So on Wednesday, on Speaking from the Center, that's coming up, we're going to be talking about World War Africa. And the end of this story will tie into Wednesday's story with the Wagner Group. Putin and the Wagner Group have a lot to do with the war that may or may not be taking place with the juntas between like Nigeria and yeah. So the Wagner Group is backing some of the juntas. So now that like Putin hired the Wagner Group to help him fight Ukraine, but the Wagner Group was already doing stuff in Africa. Now Putin has killed the head of the Wagner Group. So I don't know what his troops are doing in Africa.
Allegedly.
Yeah, right.
We do not care.
So after he
too
blew him
close
up,
to that open window. Too close. It's
What's
his
this,
fault.
what's this red dot?
defenestrating ass. So yeah, we'll be talking about that on Wednesday for the full Africa detail and the implications that this could bring.
Fulfilled. Obligations to Russia in this regard have been simply ignored.
Jesus.
He may not be here in person, but he's definitely made a strong statement against Ukraine. And it's in his interest that more countries do get accepted into BRICS to help them offset sanctions. Less than 24 hours.
What is that? Was that an AK?
Yeah, with a silencer on it.
Shartan, you're a gun guy. What is that?
It's not an AK.
Is it not?
What is it?
Give me a second.
It's got the same sort of architecture as an AK.
I'm looking at like the fire selector.
No,
Looks like a
you're
modern
looking
AK.
at the bands, but the that actually might be an AK.
Yeah, I think it's just a modern one because of like the fire selector.
Yeah, it
and the
might be
trigger
like
guard?
I think they released one that was called like the AK-74.
Oh,
or
the
something.
74U.
Yeah, that has, as you can see, like the stock is
Right.
detachable.
It might be a 74U.
Yeah, and when you see at the shelves, it looks like they're 7.62, which Kalashnikov.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not a 47 because it's no wood, basically. But it's
But people,
some
but I think they have like people do it without the wood stocks now. Like they trade out the stocks in the
but
grips.
as you can see, like it's a detachable stock. It does have an underbarrel attachment
Yeah,
where
for
you can
grip.
attach something.
Wake up, Brenner.
And some sort of
Almost.
ACOG sites.
No.
So yeah, but
Is
it's
it-
definitely at 7.62. So yeah, it's an AK of some sort. I can't really tell you what sort that is.
Well, he won't be using that anymore.
Hours before Putin's message aired in Johannesburg, Wagner boss Yevgeny Prigozhin shared his first video message since his halted protest march to Moscow. The man formerly known as Putin's
Them. Like what the fuck? You're right, Jonathan. I do.
Yeah.
I am fucking sweating a little bit.
It's coming for you.
I told you, everything in a Russian accent sounds like a threat.
march to Moscow. The man formerly known as Putin's chef says Wagner is making Russia even greater on all continents and Africa more free. A well-timed advertisement shared just as
Is that Jeremy Clarkson?
in Africa more free.
It's funny, but yo, that kind of looks like Jeremy Clarkson up there. Come on, Jezza.
Meanwhile,
A well-timed advertisement shared just
Well, my girl got a kazoo. What you doing? Get her a whistle or something.
as Russian Foreign Minister Lavrov prepares to enter closed-door security meetings with many leaders.
Yeah. Cut to part 2.
Appears to have broken his silence on the apparent death of Prigozhin and the plane crash because we are.
Come on, man. Stop saying that. Stop. Stop. It's not a crash. Stop. When you shoot something down and it hits the ground, you don't call that a crash.
Hearing from Reuters that Putin sends his condolences to Prigozhin, the founder of Russia's Wagner Group. He sends his condolences to Prigozhin's family, just to caveat that by saying this is what we're hearing from Reuters. The Reuters reports go on to say that Putin says, I've known Prigozhin since the 90s. We will look at what investigators say. And Putin says Prigozhin was a talented businessman and expertise will take time. So presumably saying there that it will take time to establish based on that investigation.
Do you think he was laughing as he was dictating
Oh,
this to
hell
his
yeah.
aide?
Through tears and a snifter of brandy. He
Somehow...
somehow...
Did you see what I said? Did you see what I said?
Tell him
we're all
as
gonna
a...
die.
Tell him I'll drop by.
Mikey, just be careful. No one with a funny accent offers you a cup of tea in the next few weeks.
Or I get poked by an umbrella.
Investigation, looking at what investigators say. But this, again, just to reiterate, this is...
The plane was brought down roughly halfway between Moscow and St. Petersburg, where it was flying to.
112, what I got to do with it?
That fucking where the party at? Oh, wait, that was Jagged Edge.
Some peaches and cream.
Yevgeny Prigozhin,
Putin hates that fucking
chief,
song, and they were
is
blasting
presumed
it.
dead after his plane crashed in Russia on
They were blasting
Wednesday.
it while
The
taxiing
Russian
on the
aviation
runway.
agency says Prigozhin and Wagner co-founder Dmitry Utkin were both on this list of passengers on the plane. But
Do you think they were alive when they got in the plane?
Just corpses, man.
that didn't stop speculation on social media that he might have been on another plane at the time.
No, they were
So what do
definitely not alive.
we know about the crash? Well, data from the flight radar tracking
Yeah, this is what I want to see. So let's see where the accident
service shows
happened.
that the plane linked to Prigozhin took off somewhere northwest of Moscow yesterday afternoon, and it was flying towards St. Petersburg, and then it disappeared over Tver region.
Must have been the Ukrainians, huh?
Yeah.
Deep into Soviet territory.
Yeah. With one of them American-made missiles.
Yeah. Zhartan, is there any kind of shoulder? You're former military. So is there any shoulder system that can launch a missile, what was that, 150 miles?
What was that?
Jesus.
If you can, you have no, you do not have anything that you can carry with you that can shoot anything 150 miles.
So the chances of anybody, not Russian shot this down. What do you think the chances of a not Russian shooting that down
Shooting
far
down
into
any
the middle of fucking Russia?
Shooting down any sort of jet with anything that you hold in your hands is virtually impossible.
Yeah.
Must be one of
kilometers
them
north
misplaced bulk missile systems.
west of Moscow, and that flight data also shows that at around 15:19 GMT there was a sudden drop of altitude. This is corroborated by video from eyewitnesses that we verified earlier, and here you can see the plane falling from the sky quite rapidly. And
Like a stone. Not I have engine failure and I'm gonna glide and see what I can do. Brenna, you're our aeronautics expert. Do you see a lot of aircraft that has engine failure or something like that fall in this manner?
No, not even that big of an aircraft. If there's engine failures, the computer inside would actually be able to sustain some sort of flight path so that you can get into safety. That though, if it ends up falling, it's because there was a directional change rapidly that causes the wings, because the wings keep you afloat, right? That's how science works.
Lift.
Science.
Low pressure underneath
and
the
so,
wing generates.
it would be a large turn. So it could have had engine failure. I mean, let's devil's advocate here. Could have had engine failure at a turn, or it could have had explosive engine failure, which would have taken it off tilt.
Well,
So
this is the other avenue
devil's
of
advocate
speculation.
there. It could have been there could have been some sort of rapid explosion that caused it.
Yeah,
Wayne,
this
Wayne, a
is-
question for you now. Wayne, did this plane hit the firmament? Be honest.
It's I'm gonna consult my experts on 8chan to get some conclusive reports. But the other speculation is that this particular aircraft took off with something that may have been put there by someone who wanted to see the plane go down.
What?
So yeah,
like a package, like luggage.
it's it's a bag, of blow up dolls, quickly decompressed in a very short period of time.
Rapid fashion.
Yeah.
Some would say
Could have-
explosive fashion.
Yeah, causing some sort of structural failure, rapid decompression of the cabin. That's what I'll go with.
And for those who might look at our comments as calloused, please remember who this motherfucker was.
Mm-hmm. And look what he's been responsible for,
Yeah.
Reuven. And look where he recruits his soldiers from.
And who he was working with and who killed him. So this is
Yeah.
villain on villain crime. We shed no tears.
I thought that was all priests and doctors.
They were doctors, all right. Doctors of death. Oh, let me see here.
This is the one of the theories being looked at by the
See?
I
See?
went too far. The explosive device on Prigozhin's plane was placed in the landing gear compartment. This is one of the theories. Why is this thing on the screen?
Yet so far, there's no convincing
Go
visual evidence
away!
to support this, and that means
I can't
we'll
see what it
continue.
says. But okay, one of the theories being looked at by the investigation. There we go. There's radical ground crews.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Yeah.
lone wolves out there.
Won't let them unionize. That's what you get.
That was that was the union's target. They said, we'll go for Prigozhin. Then we'll get our union breaks.
It would make a fuck ton more sense than a handheld portable SAM site.
Oh, that works good too. You just see what you do is you do L1 and R1 at the same time, and then it puts it down.
It's not real life.
What? No,
Not real
you
life.
just push them both.
Dude, I watched this documentary called Call of Duty on my
Yeah.
PlayStation, and this guy jumped out of his jet, shot a guy in another jet, and then landed back in his jet. And I'm pretty sure.
Do you know what? I saw a version of that also. A guy jumped out of a plane. He shot a guy, but then he got shot, and then he came back to life immediately after.
Yeah, no, that was in the same documentary.
Wow.
Why
is this not bigger news?
This is our and finally story. As soon as I can fucking find it. Whoop.
All right, and finally.
And finally, where is it? What is going on over
Jesus.
here? Twitter, you be wildin'. I'm just trying to call the drift.
Artist formerly known as.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. There it is. Okay. This is what I want. All right, here we go. Atlanta, you got some splaining to do. So this has been like growing in popularity. Please, if you see this shit, do not participate. Get the fuck away from the intersection as fast as possible. The dudes will just wait for a red light and just start doing donuts in the middle of the intersection and fuck the shit up. And then everybody comes out and they're cheering and all that shit. These motherfuckers immediately lose fucking control of their vehicles and then they fucking run people over and hurt them. Stop fucking hanging out at these. You're going to get hit. And when people are doing these street races, these drag races and shit, do not ever stand past the start line on a fucking race when it involves vehicles. Everyone knows that. You do not have a barrier protecting you. Stop doing this shit. That's it. The cops will come. Oh, there you go. So a guy gets plucked. He doesn't go under the wheels, but I imagine that didn't feel good to get hit by a fucking a pickup truck going probably like 30 miles an hour. But there was a cop who is, I swear to God, straight out of Need for Speed Underground 2 or Need for Speed Most Wanted. This cop is incredibly adept with his vehicle. Didn't work on that side? Pit him. Crawl up the side. Doors pinned shut. You're not going anywhere. Gun drawn.
Wow.
Up on the fucking hood. Let's turn your camera, stupid.
World star.
So, couple of things that I noticed from this. First of all, the driver was white. Which it's usually black dudes and Hellcats, and it's usually, but the white kid decided to show up. All right, Jasper. Thanks for showing up, Jasper. So Jasper has Jaden, yes, Jaden. There's so many Aiden names. It's so ridiculous. I have to say,
Aiden.
I have to do this.
From Universal Studios Hollywood.
The cop did good. He navigated through all those people. He stopped the fucking vehicle. He pulled his gun. As soon as he got the kid's arm, this is my favorite part of the video. And I think this is the part that needs to get put on loop in everybody's. See there? See that what he did right there for all you other dirty motherfuckers is after he got control of the suspect,
he arrested him.
He put his gun away.
Mm-hmm.
And then pursue to arrest the motherfucker so that he can get his comeuppance in the court system.
Mm-hmm.
Where it should be done. Not on the hood of your car. Not with your knee on the back of their neck on the sidewalk.
It's true.
Not macing them and tasing them over and over and over because you got 6 officers on them, jerking them in opposite directions, and you're all screaming, "Stop resisting." He effectuated an arrest, and that's it. That's what his job is. Don't talk. Don't try to pull me over and figure out my comings and goings. Go get these motherfuckers. Because I see shit like this all the time with fucking teenagers doing dumb shit in cars. But I got to look out for the speed trap. Yep. You know what I mean? And I got to look out for the, you know what I mean? Like, this is what you're supposed to be doing. And nothing else. Comments from the panel.
I'm trying to figure out, is that a 2-door Charger?
No. It's
What
just
is
it's a 4-door Charger. It's a police Charger Interceptor.
Oh, it's just when you had this second door open. That's what I was letting you know. I couldn't see the back door.
Yeah, the paint scheme kind of, the two-tone kind of hides it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they got his ass. Brenna, what say you? Oh.
I have gardeners.
Oh. Chartan, what say you?
I'm very blasé about stuff like this.
What do you mean?
The whole street racing kind of thing, like, yeah, somebody's doing donuts in the middle of an intersection and you think it's a good idea to stand in the middle of the road. I just like, yeah.
You've seen them documentaries, Fast and Furious. Nothing ever goes wrong.
That series from the BBC, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I remember one where they
or
did a street
PBS.
race through London, and there was nothing impeding them whatsoever.
Yeah, no,
London.
so
known for its emptiness.
yeah, of course, I'm not advocating for people to do stupid shit in their vehicles. But people have always been doing stupid shit in their vehicles. People have been racing and doing donuts. The difference from now and 20 years ago is that the big engines are bigger and they're a lot cheaper than they were 20 years ago. and especially in Europe, like, you know, back when I just got my license, like, if you had a 2-liter engine, you had a really, really big engine. If you had a 2-liter turbo, you had one of, you know, you were king of the streets. Most people had 1.4, 1.6, 1.8. Right, I think I knew one guy who had a V8, and he bought like an old Chevy engine that I put in a Volvo, and that thing wasn't fast. It was slow as fuck. It just, you know, there was a lot of sound in it.
Meandering.
Yeah. So, but we did stupid shit. Fuck, we drag raced our 1.6 liter naturally aspirated engine with, you know, the car had fucking 100 horsepower when it was new, and it probably lost a few along the way. So,
and the trees are littered with them to this day.
Planting the seeds.
More than one Fiesta in the tree somewhere, yes.
Almost ripe.
But yeah, and then same thing with motorbikes. Fuck, I still think it's fun to do donuts and burnouts in the motorbike. I still do. And I'm 41 next week.
So you're just an AI loving criminal.
Tree destroyer.
Yeah, and you hate the earth.
I hate the earth. And every time I parked something in a tree, I was actually aiming for the guy hugging it. But, you know, you can't win them all, mate.
The problem is that they hug the tree so low to the ground, and how you normally put your vehicles in trees is very up high in the tree. So it's hard to get the car down there.
But just to finish my point, like I saw today, actually on Facebook, somebody wrote from my hometown, wrote something on you know, like the board of this little village that I grew up in, like all these kids, you know, going around. Maybe your parents hear you going out on your, you know, scooters and your motorbikes in the night, and I was like, dude, I remember you when you were 16, 17, like you were the biggest street racer. Nobody had a faster scooter than you because it was tuned into oblivion, that thing. And you were out all the time driving that thing drunk and all of that. But now all of a sudden you're an adult and you've forgotten all the shit that you've done because now you have kids and you want to sleep at night. But you didn't fucking care about that 20 fucking years ago, did you? It's actually more like 30 years ago.
I think you're actually at this point advocating for bad behavior. I think you are.
I'm not advocating for bad behavior.
No, you kind of are at this point. You're like, come on. We were all young once. Like, no. Not everyone did that when they were young. We didn't do that. Me and my friends didn't do that because we're not fucking monsters fucking threatening people's lives with motor vehicles. No, everyone didn't do that. You know what? Go to jail.
We did. I'm pretty fucking sure Wayne did.
Wayne didn't say shit. Wayne ain't said shit.
I didn't own my first Fiesta at 15 at all without a license. No.
Me and Brenna are the only good kids then.
I'm not saying you should break the law.
My Friday nights were in front of a computer playing solitaire and listening to music. So yeah.
And yes, that guy, he absolutely deserved to get arrested. All of that is fine, but at the same time, it's like, if you're asking me if I think his crime was heinous, I'm like, I'm more bummed out that that nice pickup truck got a dent in it. Like,
I think you kind of missed the point of the question, and you just kind of recanted some stories about shitty fucking teenage danger driving.
Sorry.
It was more about the police response and how it was appropriate and swift. But I get it. I'm not driving in Sweden.
Jelton went all 4 years
yeah,
ago.
he just started fucking like recanting old tales when him and Corn
when
Pop.
I was a lad.
Yeah, him and Corn Pop used to do wheelies. Like, what the
I think that the police response was reasonable and adequate, and it served the point that it was. But
the
can
way
you pull up
Jesus
the picture
would
I
have
sent
wanted
you
it
real quick, because I got caught today as well.
What? Hot dogging?
Absolute
picture I sent
monster.
you?
Can I just say, sweet and innocent little Brenna there saying, "Oh yeah, I spent my Friday nights playing solitaire and listening to music." Yeah, also coding the very first beta of Skynet. We know what you were doing.
Mm-hmm. Solitaire. That was the name of the first wave. The first iteration.
Drone that can fly on its own.
She was creating a techno-writing AI.
Brenna, was that number one you was holding up there? Was that the first version?
First version. That's what I think that's what the
version,
implication was.
Yeah.
It's fucking called beta version, assholes. God damn it.
Or alpha.
See, we struck a nerve. We struck a nerve.
We're getting too close to the truth, Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm just glad it was you and not me or Mickey.
You know what? I don't have to take this abuse. I don't have to take this.
Yeah, you do. We all have to take each other.
That's what you signed up for, man.
Well,
to the T's and C's.
Well.
I think that's it. I got caught by the police today, driving too fast. It happens.
That's the trick, man. Don't
Not
get
to
caught.
me. I've never gotten a speeding ticket.
Really? Never?
I've never had a moving violation.
Okay, Miss Daisy.
I've had quite a few.
No shit.
What, they give you a ticket for parking a fucking SUV 65 feet up a tree?
Yeah. When you're hanging by the door about to drop, tuck and roll, I think they've got you.
It sounds like.
Pretty soon we're going to be calm this country.
Can't even park your car in the tree.
Yeah. Don't understand.
You
There was no sign that said I could. All right, so this has been The Bin, another iteration of it. So for Mikey, for Wayne, and Brenna, and me, Shartan, we wish you all good night, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Love you. Stay around for the raid.